$6,500. That's how much a dealer fee solar loan adds to your system cost before you even make your first payment. It never goes toward your panels, your inverter, or the labor to put them on your roof. It goes straight to the lender, and you will pay interest on every penny of it for the next 25 years. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau confirmed this in their August 2024 report. Solar lenders are, and this is their language, cramming markup fees into homeowner loan balances, fees that inflate the total cost by 30% or more above the actual cash price of the system. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to sidestep this entire fee structure using two financing paths that most installers will never mention because there is no kickback in it for them. If you are shopping for solar right now, or even if you already signed a loan and you are wondering why your balance seems too high, this is the most important financing breakdown you will find. So here's what's actually happening inside your solar loan paperwork. You call an installer, they quote you a system, the cash price comes back at $26,000. That's the real number. That's what the hardware, the labor, and the permits actually cost. But the moment you say, I'd like to finance this, something changes. The installer connects you with a solar lending partner. Could be GoodLeap, could be Dividend Finance, could be one of a handful of fintech companies that dominate about 80% of the residential solar loan market. The lender offers you what sounds like an incredible deal, 1.99% interest, 25-year term, monthly payments under $150. Sounds almost too good to be true. And it is. That 1.99% interest rate costs money to create. The lender charges the installer a fee, typically 20 to 30% of the system price, to buy that rate down. The installer does not eat that cost. They roll it into your loan balance. So your $26,000 system becomes a $32,500 loan. That extra $6,500, that is the dealer fee. It is listed in the fine print of your loan documents, but it is almost never explained at the kitchen table signing. The salesperson sitting across from you has zero incentive to highlight it because the low monthly payment is what closes the deal. Before January 1st of this year, there was a cushion. The Federal Residential Solar Tax Credit, Section 25D, gave homeowners 30% back on their system cost. So if you overpaid by $6,500 because of a dealer fee, the tax credit clawed back about $2,000 of that overpayment. It did not fix the problem, but it softened the blow. That credit is gone. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act killed it, effective December 31st, 2025. If you buy a solar system with cash or a loan in 2026, you receive $0 in federal tax credits. Every dollar of that dealer fee is now a pure, unrecoverable loss. And it gets worse. Because many solar loans were structured around the assumption that you would take your tax credit refund and apply it as a lump sum payment within 18 months to keep your monthly bill low. That lump sum is not coming anymore. If your loan still has that reamortization trigger built in, your payment is going to jump. Now, the solar industry will tell you dealer fees are standard practice, that they have been approved by regulators for decades in auto lending and other industries. They will also say the low interest rate saves you money in the long run. Regulators disagree. The legal record is getting louder every quarter. In August 2024, the CFPB published a formal spotlight report finding that solar lenders are embedding fees that increase loan principals by 30% or more, and that these fees are rarely disclosed clearly to homeowners. The report specifically called out the practice of presenting the inflated loan balance in small light font, while the net cost, after an assumed tax credit is displayed in large, bright text. That assumed tax credit no longer exists for homeowner-purchased systems. In March 2024, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison sued 4 of the biggest solar lenders in the country: GoodLeap, Sunlight Financial, Mosaic, and Dividend Finance. His office found they had collected an estimated $35 million in hidden fees on more than 5,000 Minnesota solar loans since 2017. GoodLeap's average dealer fee in Minnesota was 19.3%. Mosaic's averaged 17.6%. Per homeowner, that worked out to roughly $5,800 to $7,500 added to each loan balance that the homeowner never agreed to and often never knew about. In January 2026, New York City filed a $20 million lawsuit against Radiant Solar. The city's Department of Consumer and Worker Protection found that Radiant had promoted over $18 million in loans to at least 370 homeowners, with approximately $3 million of that total coming from undisclosed dealer fees. The city's complaint described those fees as nothing more than a kickback for preferred lenders. The company targeted low-income neighborhoods and elderly residents, signed people up for loans without full consent, and in some cases, homeowners did not even know a loan had been taken out in their name until the bills arrived. Mosaic, one of the biggest solar lenders in the country, filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June 2025. So now, homeowners are paying inflated loan balances to a lender that no longer exists as a functioning company. Alright, so here's where this shifts from the problem to the escape. There is a way to finance solar without paying a single dollar in dealer fees. 2 ways, actually, and neither one is complicated. The industry just does not want you to know about them because they cut the lender and the installer out of the financing kickback. Path 1 is a home equity line of credit. A HELOC lets you borrow against the equity in your home, and you use those funds to pay the installer the cash price directly. No dealer fee, no lender middleman, no inflated loan balance. As of mid-May 2026, the national average HELOC rate is 7.21%, according to Curinos. That's higher than the 1.99% headline rate on a dealer fee loan. And the solar salesperson will absolutely use that number to steer you away from a HELOC. But the headline rate is a distraction. What matters is the total cost over the life of the loan. So let me walk through the actual math on a $26,000 system. With a dealer fee solar loan at 1.99% over 25 years, your loan balance is $32,500. The monthly payment is around $138. Sounds great. But over 25 years, you pay approximately $41,300 total. That means you paid over $15,000 above the actual cost of your solar system for a rate that looked cheap on paper. Now take a HELOC at 7.21% on the actual cash price of $26,000. If you pay it off in 10 years, and most solar homeowners can because their utility savings offset a chunk of the monthly payment, you're looking at roughly $305 per month. Total paid over 10 years comes to about $36,500. You save almost $5,000 compared to the dealer fee loan, and you're completely debt-free 15 years sooner. And depending on your state and your tax situation, HELOC interest used for home improvements may be tax deductible, which can knock another point or two off your effective rate. Talk to your tax professional about that, but it's a real tax advantage that solar-specific loans don't offer. Now, I do want to flag 2 legitimate concerns with the HELOC path, because ignoring them would make this advice incomplete. First, most HELOCs carry a variable interest rate. That 7.21% could rise if the Fed raises rates. Some lenders offer fixed-rate HELOC options, and those are worth seeking out. As of May 2026, the Fed has held rates steady through 3 consecutive meetings, and the prime rate sits at 6.75%. But rates can change, and you should budget for the possibility of a 1 to 2% increase over the life of the draw period. Even with a rate increase, the math still beats the dealer fee loan because you're financing $26,000, not $32,500. Second, a HELOC uses your home as collateral. If you default, you are at risk of foreclosure. That's a real risk that solar-specific unsecured loans do not carry. If your income is unstable or your budget is tight, a HELOC demands discipline. You should only go this route if you are confident in your ability to make the payments. And if you don't have enough equity in your home, or you don't want to use your home as collateral, there is a second path. Path 2 is a credit union solar loan. Several credit unions across the country now offer dedicated solar financing with zero dealer fees and fixed interest rates that beat anything the solar lending fintechs are advertising once you account for the hidden markup. Clean energy credit. Union offers solar loans with no dealer fees, no prepayment penalties, and fixed rates starting as low as 5.25%. Matador's Community Credit Union in California was listing solar loans at 4.74% as of May 2026. Community First Credit Union runs a platform called Easy Solar Loan with instant approvals and no dealer fees. Climate First Bank has built their entire solar lending program around the promise of zero dealer fees. The math on a credit union loan is the cleanest comparison. Take that same $26,000 system. A credit union loan at 5.25%, fixed over 12 years, runs approximately $243 per month. Total paid over the life of the loan comes to about $35,000. Compare that to the $41,300 total on the dealer fee loan, and you save over $6,000. You are also done paying 13 years sooner, and nobody added a single phantom dollar to your loan balance. If you are finding this useful, subscribe. I cover the tricks the solar industry does not want you to know about every week. So the practical question is, how do you actually execute this? Because the moment you sit down with a solar installer, they are going to push their own financing. It is easier for them, it is faster, and they get a cut. You have to separate the financing decision from the installation decision, and you have to do it before you sign anything. Step 1. And this is the single most important thing you can do. Ask every installer for the cash price, not the finance price, not the net cost after incentives. The cash price. What does the system cost if you write a check today? If an installer refuses to give you that number, or if they seem confused by the question, walk away. That cash price was your baseline for everything that follows. Step 2. Ask for the financed price. The difference between the cash price and the financed price is the dealer fee. If your cash price is $26,000 and the loan balance is $32,500, you are looking at a 25% dealer fee. Now you have the number. Now you can make an informed decision. Step 3. Before you sign anything with the installer, shop your own financing. Call your bank. Call a credit union. Check your HELOC eligibility. Get at least 2 outside financing quotes. Compare the total cost over the life of each option, not just the monthly payment. The monthly payment is how they hide the fee. Step 4. If you go the HELOC route, get a fixed rate option if your lender offers it. If you go the credit union route, look for Clean Energy Credit Union, Climate First Bank, or a local credit union that participates in a state clean energy financing program. Colorado's RENU program partners with credit unions specifically to offer zero dealer fee solar loans. Step 5. Once you have locked in your financing, go back to the installer and pay the cash price directly. You are the customer with the check. You have the leverage. The installer who quoted you $26,000 in cash will still accept that amount, even if they were hoping to make an extra few thousand on the financing kickback. Now, a few things I want to be upfront about. If you are sizing your system, factor in where your electricity use is headed over the next 10 years, not just where it is today. If you plan to add an electric vehicle, a heat pump, a pool, or a home addition, size for that future load now. Expanding a system later costs significantly more per watt because of new permits, panel matching challenges when your original model gets discontinued, and possible inverter upgrades. The financing strategy in this video works whether your system costs $22,000 or $35,000. The key is knowing the real price before the lender inflates it. And regardless of how you finance, VT your installer like your money depends on it. Because it does. The solar installer bankruptcy wave is real. SunPower, SunNova, Freedom Forever, Mosaic, Titan Solar, ADT Solar. All gone in the last 2 years. Choose a local installer with 10 or more years in your specific market, verify their contractor license, and make sure your panel and inverter warranties are manufacturer-level warranties that survive if the installer disappears. An Enphase or REC warranty follows the equipment, not the company that bolted it to your roof. One more thing. If your monthly electric bill is consistently under $100, solar may not pencil out regardless of how you finance it. The return on investment drops into single digits at that consumption level, and the payback period stretches beyond what makes financial sense for most households. That's not a knock on solar, it's just math. The homeowners who benefit most are the ones spending $150 or more per month on electricity, and those savings are what make the financing payments manageable. So let me leave you with the bottom line. Every solar loan you've been quoted has a number in it that doesn't belong there. The lender put it there, the installer passed it through, and until the CFPB report, the Minnesota Attorney General, and the New York City lawsuit started pulling the curtain back, most homeowners had no idea it was happening. You now know the number, you know how to find it in your own quote, and you know how to finance around it. The system costs what it costs. The dealer fee is optional. You just have to be the one who opts out. Get your quotes through Energy Sage or directly from local installers. Get 3 minimum. Ask for cash price and financed price from every single one. Then go find your own money, your roof, your system, your financing terms.